afternoon. I'm Sugar with Sugar in the Attic Homestead, and today is Tea Time with Sugar. Get your favorite tea, your favorite mug, coffee, whatever you drink, and join me. Let's sit down and talk about some things that are going on, not only in my world, but in the world in general. Let's talk about SHTF. So, as you know, all of my friends and community members know that I have been off of YouTube for a little bit. Not an extended amount of time, but I've been off YouTube for a little bit. Now, why have I been off YouTube and what changed? Well, I've been going through my own SHTFs, and it's more than one, but it's an SHTF. So the first thing is I have been a consultant for many years, and the small company that I was doing consulting with decided that they weren't going to use my specific service. Was it a shock? Yeah, yes, it was a shock. Was it a big surprise? No. Depending on how you look at it, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because there were small red flags all along the way within the last year and a half. Things that were said, things that were done. I'm not the only one, so we kind of figured out, okay. Now, SHTF. Everybody needs to be as prepared as possible for job loss. Being a consultant, I'm on my own. And so I work, I get paid. I don't work, I don't get paid. All right. I've been in the industry 35 plus years. Not a problem. But it's always a shock, even if you're prepared. Even if you know it's coming, and you may even know the date. Now, we did not know the date, but even if you know it's ultimately going to happen, after it happens, you're still in shock. You're in disbelief. It's like, well, wait a minute. I was making the company money. Wait a minute. So, stay as prepared as possible for anything that might come along. After that, it's been about 2 weeks. As of tomorrow, it'll be about 2 weeks. This is Thursday. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks. And I took some time just to think and reflect, catch up on a lot of things, decide if I wanted to continue with YouTube or not. Where is my life going to turn? How are we going to deal with this at the homestead? Do I have everything in place that I need in place? Luckily, I have been a planner, I guess, my whole life. But especially since Y2K, I was the one that made sure I had extra of everything for my family. Now, the second SHTF situation that I've been going through is back issues. I do have a back injury. It hits me every once in a while. Sometimes it's worse. Sometimes it's fine. Sometimes I just push through. This time it hit me pretty hard. I felt like I was about 95 years old, or 100, or maybe 150. Excruciating pain most of the time. Limited mobility. I did take your basic over-the-counter, medications. Not much, because I just don't like medications. Did I get through it? Yes. Am I still working with it? Yes. I will always be working with that, and that's one of my challenges. That's fine. I have a high pain tolerance, so that's okay. Did it slow me down? Definitely. I lost about 2 weeks. Back to the, I don't want to say job loss, because I was a consultant. Project loss is what I want to call it. It did not hit me as hard as it could have, because I stay ready. I stay ready all the time, no matter what. Am I resourceful? You better believe it. Am I frugal? Definitely so. Probably one of the most frugal people you'll meet. Now, there are some out there who are more frugal. Can I find a deal? Yes. I'm resourceful. I make sure that out here everyone is taken care of in the best way possible. This is not supposed to be a negative tea time with sugar. This is supposed to be a wake-up call for the people who think that they're prepared and they don't need to do anything else. The canned line that I have heard over and over again from my acquaintances is, everything will be all right. Don't worry about it. I don't want to hear it. Don't talk to me. I'm fine. Everything's going to be in the stores. I'm always going to have a job. And then some of the people lost their jobs. And there were shortages. And they didn't know what to do. And this was 3 years ago. And they called me again. What do I do? Did you stay ready? No, everything was going to be fine. Well, it's not. You have to be more resourceful than you were before. Grow your own food, if possible. There's so many different things I'm going to go through on this channel. I'm back on YouTube. I decided that I'm going to continue to do the videos, even if I reach a few of my community members or a few people that I've never reached out to before. That's my purpose on this channel, is to provide information, just some hints and tips and tricks, gentle reminders to someone. If I reach one person, it's all worth it. All worth it. Another thing that a friend of mine had asked me, are you retired? Are you going to retire? Are you going to just quit and not go look for any other thing? I don't ever retire. I never will retire. A relative of mine worked for the U.S. Postal Service all his life. In fact, it was my grandfather. He retired after many, many, many years walking his route on the U.S. Postal Service. And I was very small. I remember him sitting down in his chair saying, I walked all my life. I'm retiring. I'm going to sit down and rest. And he did basic things, but he didn't walk like he used to. And within 5 years, he passed away of a heart attack. So, am I going to retire? Never. I'll never stop. So, stay ready. Think and plan ahead, and not just for tomorrow. Plan years in advance. Do the what ifs. And that's what I used to do, and that's what I still do. Well, what if this happens, or what if that happens? I'm not being negative. I'm being positive. Because what if there's a job loss in your family? If you stay ready, you won't be as stressed. Do the very best you can. And don't forget, have a nice cup of coffee, a tea, ice water, whatever you would like to do. Take some time, sit down, make a plan with your family if you haven't made a plan. Make it today. And my last words, and I will stick by them from now on, are stay ready.